Okay, so what if I told you that the secrets to real, lasting success aren't really secrets at all? What if they're just timeless truths, Wisdom that's been around forever just waiting for us to pay attention. That's what we're diving into today. We're not just going to read some nice quotes. Nope. We're going to decode a blueprint for success built from this ancient wisdom. So, let's get into the first piece of the puzzle.
And here's where we start. This African proverb is, well, it's pretty powerful, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It lays out this choice that every single one of us has to make, basically. Do you want speed or do you want distance? Are you in a sprint or are you running a marathon? And this simple idea, it's the absolute foundation for our very first pillar of success. So that brings us right to pillar number 1, the power of the collective. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? This is the core idea that any big, meaningful, long-term achievement, you almost never do it alone. It's built on teamwork, on community, on that shared strength you get when you work with other people.
And this just breaks it down so perfectly. You can see the two paths right there. Path 1, go alone. Yeah, it's all about speed. You get those quick wins, right? Feels good in the moment. But then there's the other path, go together. And that's a whole different ballgame. The aim there isn't speed, it's distance. It's about endurance, about building something that's going to be around for a long, long time.
I just love this metaphor. It's so vivid. A bird will always use another bird's feathers to feather its nest. I mean, just think about that for a second. None of us, not a single one, starts from absolute scratch. We're all building our own nests, right? Our careers, our goals, our lives, and we're using the feathers of other people. Their ideas, their support, their discoveries. It really drives home that success is like this giant interconnected web, not something you achieve all by yourself on some deserted island.
Okay, so pillar 1 is all about who you're on the journey with. That makes sense. But what about the journey itself? Well, that's pillar number 2, the nature of the path. Because let's be real, the road to anything worthwhile is never a straight line, is it? It's full of twists and turns. It's really a test of your resilience.
And wow, this quote from Churchill just hits it out of the park. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. This is such a critical thing to remember. Look, the path to doing anything great is going to have wins and it's going to have losses. But Churchill is telling us that neither one is the final word. The real test, the real strength, isn't about never failing. It's about having the guts to get back up, dust yourself off, and just keep going. And this just boils it all down to a fundamental truth. George Washington Carver said it so simply. There is no shortcut to achievement. That's it. There are no hacks, no secret elevators that'll take you straight to the top. You have to do the work. It's like the fundamental law of the path we're talking about. Okay, so if there are no shortcuts, then how in the world do we actually navigate this long, winding path? Well, it kind of comes down to these 3 truths. First up, embrace the pace. Little by little, the bird builds its nest. Progress isn't always a giant leap. Most of the time, it's one small step after another. Second, learn from your stumbles. This one is huge. Do not look where you fell, but where you slipped. Don't just obsess over the failure itself. Figure out why it happened. That's where the gold is. And finally, you've got to trust the process. However long the river, it will reach the sea. The river just keeps flowing, right? It knows it'll get there. We have to have that same faith in our own consistent effort.
All right, so we've got our team, our collective, and we understand the nature of the path, that it's going to be a long haul. But what actually keeps the engine running? What powers us through all of it? Well, that brings us to our third and final pillar, the engine of mindset. This is the internal stuff, the fuel that drives the entire journey. And right at the heart of that engine, we find discipline. I love this definition from Jim Rohn. He says, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. See, it's not about punishing yourself or being super rigid. It's about building a structure. It's the bridge that you build piece by piece every single day that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. Without that bridge, your goal, well, it just stays a dream on the other side of the canyon.
So that's a really cool idea, right? Building the bridge, but how do you actually, build it? Robin Sharma gives us this super direct, no-fluff set of instructions. It's simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Step 1, dream big. Let yourself imagine what's possible. Step 2, start small. Break that huge dream down into the tiniest first step you can take. And step 3, the most important one, act now. Not later, not when you feel like it, right now. So there you have it. We put together our blueprint with these 3 pillars. But all this ancient wisdom, it has one final, really deep lesson for us. It kind of forces us to step back and ask a really important question. What's the prize we're actually chasing here? What's the real goal?
And this is where it all clicks into place. After the whole journey, after all the hard work and everything you've accomplished, what's the one thing that really lasts? This proverb gives us a clue. A clear conscience is more valuable than wealth. It suggests that maybe the ultimate measure of success isn't something you can see on the outside. Not the money, not the fame. Maybe it's something internal. It's about your integrity. It's about the peace of mind you have because of how you walked the path.
And that brings everything right back to you. We've walked through this blueprint, right? It's built on a few key ideas: the power of doing things together, the resilience you need for the long haul, and the discipline that fuels the whole trip. The wisdom is thousands of years old, but how you use it, that's completely up to you. So the real question is, how are you going to use these pillars to build your success?